Here's an update on the garden. Uh, as you can see, we're getting down to the nitty gritty here. We just got to build the legs and cut out some patterns and found some move the screens out of the way here. Safety first, personal protection equipment. These are going to be the legs. This is how high they're going to be. There's going to be two of them. Something to this effect, I believe. I'm sorry, it's like this. So they'll be this high. There's be one, two on each side, and then a board that goes across, and I'll show you how those get built. So I'm not going to have enough, unfortunately, for all 18 boxes, but we're gonna work something out here. So moving on. So those are the legs that are kind of count out into fours. I've already measured them out. I just got to saw them up, which my neighbors will surely appreciate. And this is the pattern for the square foot gardening. So we're going to do a little hybrid. I know if people do square foot gardening, it only requires 6 inches of the soil with a certain mix, 1/3 peat moss, 1/3 compost, and 1/3 vermiculite. I'm going to do a little hybrid of everything that I've been finding on the internet, although I am going to incorporate the square foot gardening because I believe you can get a huge yield out of it. So this is how we're going to handle it. I've been doing a little research. We're going to make some worm towers, this big ass PVC pipe. I came upon a happy accident when I was burning up the scraps from all these woods. The coal base, I didn't want to let it sit overnight because that's just irresponsible. So we douse it, after we're done burning it for about 4 hours, we douse it with water, and I threw it in my wheelbarrow and made sure it was, out so we don't have any fires out here in California. And then I did a little research online, and basically I made biochar and didn't even know it. So I'm going to use the biochar from the burnt wood here as a soil supplement. And they say to use it sparingly because it can really mess with your pH and it takes forever to biodegrade. So that's another bottle of whiskey and another story. We're going to do the 50-50 soil mix. I got a couple of lines on that. I'm going to need 18 cubic yards to fill my bins up because they're so incredibly massive. We're also going to do compost tea as well and see how that works. I've been seeing mixed reviews on it. I don't see how it could not help. But, there's always the naysayers out there. But if your soil is rich enough, between the worm tower, the biochar, the 50-50 mix, and the compost tea, this should be pretty good environment for the plants to absorb maximum nutrients and really get a big yield. I'm shooting for a pH on most of my bins from 6.5 to 7. And then for the berry plants, I'm going to have to sulfur them up a little bit and lower that pH around 4.5 to 5 because that's what the blueberries and raspberries really like. Rain barrels, which is another project. We got a project through the water district here that if you can buy up to 4 rain barrels, 50 gallons or larger per household, and the state will reimburse you. So, and up to $75 per barrel, which is pretty groovy. And we just had a rain and I just missed it. All the snow is locked up back east basically, and we're getting nothing. So cold frame, that's another thing. Looked at a solar fan and a thermatic vent, which is cool. It'll open and close because it's California. It's really hot out here. I don't want to cook my plants. The other thing is the Team Maker. I found a solar air pump, so I'm trying to reduce the carbon footprint, and basically I don't want to pay the energy company anything if I can't help it. So that's the plan right now. And also a little shout out to Greg, you know who you are. I met you at the Home Depot parking lot. He had a couple of windows in the back of his truck he was going to throw to the dump. I asked him if I could have them, and these are going to be perfect for my cold frame. So I just have to strip off the aluminum there without breaking the panes or build some wood around it somehow, some way. And again, that'll be another project. We got the mesh here for the bottom of the liners, and the hardware cloth here for my strawberry patch to keep any critters out. We're going to build a frame for that and basically put a big lid on it. Okay, yeah, what a mess. Yeah, I know, but it'll look better. So these are all the scraps I was talking about that we couldn't really use. I need to lose some weight, obviously, hence the vegetable garden. Cracking the boards over here. This is the biochar I was talking about. So, yeah, there's piles of this stuff, and I got some nails in there, obviously from the pallets, but I just use this magnet sweeper and sucks all the nails out of it. You can see it back there. So instead of sifting through with my hand, just use a big ass magnet. Anyway, that's that, and I'm running out of time here. So, I basically water blasted these things with my pressure washer on the inside to get any funk out of them and let them sit in the rain. So hopefully that'll be clean enough. The outsides we're going to paint, and unfortunately we can't fit all 18 back here because of the space requirements. So I'm going to lose this row here, and the prototype one in the back is going to be salvaged for wood for the bottom here to put a plank across, so I can put my wire mesh and gravel in there for drainage. And that's it, and we'll talk to you in a little bit.